Hello student, welcome back. This is our unit number 3 video and I'm your teacher Saurabh Guha. I will be telling you about Markov processes in this unit. So let us start. Markov models. Actually this model has been named after a Russian mathematician called Andrew Markov, who was born in 1856 and died in 1922. He was the one who studies the Markov process first. Now the question is, what is Markov process? It is chain of events actually, the chain of events which are called memoryless. Now, what is this memoryless? Memoryless is basically a technical term related to statistics and probability. But to make you understand in a simple manner, let us take an example of three events, that is current event, next event, and previous event. Now, we are currently at this current event, as the name is suggesting. We need to know about the next event. So, we need to take data for current event to know the next event, not the data for the previous event from the previous event. Okay, so that's basically memorylessness is. We will be seeing more in a example video about that. Hope you understood that. If you want to know more about memorylessness, you can Google it also. Okay, so a simple example, if we take from the human perspective, for that let us take an example of a girl called Romi. Okay, let us say Rumi can travel between three different possible places: work, home, and the Eiffel Tower. In this Markov model, each of these three locations is called state. Now, state is a technical term related to Markov process here. Now, all we need is a series of transition probability. Transition probability is again a technical term related to Markov chain analysis. Okay, so as the name is suggesting, transition means going from one state to another state, and probability means what is probability. Okay, transition probability tells us which state Romy is likely to travel to given where she is. What's the sign of set of transition probabilities to each of the states every time Rumi travels can call that a transition events. In this model, if Rumi is at home, she has a 0.5 chance of going to work, a 0.4 chance of staying at home, and a 0.1 chance to the Eiffel Tower. Notice that all of these three transition probabilities, if we sum together, it will equal to 1. As you know that probability of happening of a particular event, if we sum it, it will be equal to 1. How do we choose this number? That 0.5, 0.4, and 0.1 we are talking about this, that those probabilities. How do we choose those number? Actually, the data will be given to us in exam, but you should know for the sake of knowledge. Typically, we have to watch a process and count how many times the transition take place. In our case, we have to watch Rumi as she moves around. Let us say we see Romi leaves home 10 times and she goes to work 5 out of those 10 times. This gives us a probability of 0.5, and that if she is at home, she will go to work next. Once we have all this statistics, we can go construct our Markov model. Typically, the transition probabilities that are entered into a transition matrix. Notice that each of the column of the matrix represent the state Rumi came from, and each of the rows represent the state she is going to. Okay. Using this matrix, we can compute all sort of useful quantities. So how do we use it? Well, first we need a starting probability vector that represent what we know about Rumi's starting location. Let's say we know with probability 1 that she start at home. If we multiply our transition matrix by the starting probability vector, we can get a new vector representing our prediction about where Rumi will be one event in the future. After one event in the future, we can apply the transition matrix again to see where Rumi will be two events in the future. If we keep multiplying this transition matrix, then we can get a prediction where Rumi will be at any time in the future. Even that time approaches infinity. Markov model can be useful and powerful tools. So in the next video, I will be sharing this concept again with the help of PPT. Hope you will be getting it more insights. If you have gone through this video, hope you have got some insights, and hoping that you will be getting more insights in my coming video. So I'm stopping here right now.